Hello, beautiful human. Welcome to our chair yoga reset class. Thank you so much for joining me. So, today we are going to need our chair. I sequence this practice with people who sit a lot in mind. I know during this self-isolation, I'm doing lots of work at my desk. I'm studying, I'm sequencing classes, and every now and then I just need a little bit of a movement snack. So if you can relate, sit comfortably in your chair and let's get started. So sitting with your sit bones on your seat, both feet planted on the floor at about hips distance apart. Let's start to sink into our practice, kind of stepping away from whatever you're doing mentally. So here we can start to focus on our breath. Just your breath as it is. No need to change anything. Knowing that as you give it more attention, start to breathe with more intention, that it will naturally slow, naturally lengthen. Starting to notice that your belly can help that breath flow in and out. Starting to sit up nice and tall, feeling like the crown of your head draws up towards the ceiling. You might even lean back slightly in your chair. Let's take the arms out to the side in a T shape with the palms facing up towards the ceiling. Now feel that as you roll the palms up to the ceiling, you can almost feel your shoulders, feel your chest open. Now from this shape, imagining like your middle fingers are paintbrushes, and we're going to start drawing a spiral, starting super small, one in each hand, and just moving slowly through this spiral. Until you're in a place where that spiral is really big. You're kind of going to your maximum range of motion, knowing that you have a little bit less than you might be used to when we have the palms facing up. And keeping the palms facing up, let's take our spiral in the other direction. So we start big and slowly let it get smaller and smaller, working your way back to the center of that spiral. When you come back to the center, let's bring the arms in, maybe a little wriggle through the shoulders. And then holding onto the side or the bottom of your chair with your right hand, let's take the left hand and reach it up and across the body. So it's like you're grabbing something on a shelf up high on your right side. And then we'll take that arm down, do the same thing other side. So this time we're reaching to the left, reaching across the body, reaching up as high as you can. Keeping that going, every exhale we bring the hand down, and every inhale we lift up. So you might like to go a little faster or slower than me here, working with your natural rate of breath. And often when we move with our breath, we're moving a little bit slower than feels natural. And then start to take that reaching not just beside you, but slightly behind you, still up nice and high. And knowing that maybe the arm doesn't want to quite straighten, that's okay. And going to your limit. Maybe your reaching doesn't quite look like mine. But what we're looking at doing is just freeing up our body, freeing up some energy, getting ourselves moving. Let's do one more. And then taking the hands down by the sides, palms facing in towards the body. As we inhale, let's take a really big shrug, ears up towards the shoulders. And we lower the hands, do the same thing, but this time with the palms facing to the front. Nice shrug, shoulders up by the ears. And then again, same thing, but this time turning the palms out to the side as far as you can, even maybe behind you, knowing that that shrug starts to feel a little bit funny. Same thing again, palms facing in, let's take a shrug. Palms facing forward, let's shrug. And palms facing out to the side. One last shrug. Beautiful. Again, soften the shoulders, take a little wriggle. Sitting up nice and tall. Now I want you to think about your shoulder blades on your back here, those two plates of bone that kind of live in your upper back. I'll turn around and show you mine. And we're going to work with every inhale. As we inhale, we're going to draw those shoulder blades together so they feel like they almost kiss in the middle of the back, and then let them relax. Same thing again, draw the shoulder blades together and relax. Doing a couple more and relax. Beautiful. Let's do one more. And adding on a little bit, this time as we draw the shoulder blades together, see if you can lift the heart up towards kind of the wall in front of you. So we pull the shoulder blades together, lift the heart. Let's do one more like that before we add a little on. And then this time, let's take the arms out in front of us. As we draw the shoulder blades together, lift the heart, we open the arms out like a book. And then as you relax everything, close your book. Inhale as you bring it out. Think about the palms facing forward or palms facing up. Now everything we're doing here, we're putting our shoulders, we're putting our upper back in the opposite position that it is when we're hunching over our study, our homework, our desk, our laptop, our book. And hunching forward is okay. And it's really nice to do the opposite thing every now and then. Let's take our last one. Beautiful. Setting up those feet right in front of you, hips distance apart if they've strayed a little bit. Now from here, we can either reach our hands directly in front of our shoulders, fingertips reaching forward, or if you feel it, we can take the arms, biceps, up by the ears. Now from here, let's start to lean forward, weight into our feet, and nice and slowly, we're gonna stand ourselves up. Once you feel like you're standing, really tuck the tailbone, squeeze your glutes. And then nice and slowly, as slow as you can, we sit it back down until you're back in your chair. Keep the arms as they are. We're going to do that a couple more times. Inhale as we stand up, nice and slow, like you're moving through honey. And once you get to the top, tuck the tailbone, feel your glutes. As you exhale, keep that connection with your glutes as you sit down, nice and slow. The slower we go, the more strength we're building. Again, bringing yourself forward and up, standing tall at the top, and sitting down as slow as you can, keeping that going at your own pace. You might go faster or slower than I am. And I want you to be aware of your shins, be aware of your thigh bones. Think about them running parallel like train tracks. Watch the knees don't rock away from each other or rock in towards each other as you're standing up and sitting down nice and slowly. That can happen. Now let's keep that going, but thinking about taking the weight into the left foot here and coming up on the right toe. So picking up the right heel. Now this is optional. You might just keep going with your sits. Let's lean lots of weight forward as we stand up. Lots of weight in that left leg. And then sitting it back down nice and slow. Let's swap our heels. So weight into the right foot, lift the left heel and stand it up. Still thinking about standing up tall. Tuck the tailbone and then sit it down nice and slow. Let's do one more each leg. Inhale as we stand up on the left foot. Exhale as you sit down nice and slowly. Let's do one more on the right foot. Sit it down nice and slowly. Once you get there, relax. Nice. We're going to sit up nice and tall again. Now, knowing here, if you want this to be a little bit more accessible, you might lean forward slightly, especially if you are sitting at an actual desk. You can use your desk, lean on your desk with your forearms or grab on with your hands for a little bit of help here. We're going to keep the knees bent and then just one by one, again, working with an inhale for upward energy and an exhale for downward energy. Every inhale will pick up a knee. I'm going to start with my right knee and pull it as close into my chest, keeping that knee bent. And then I lower it down. Press that right foot into the floor as I lift up the left knee. And then again, work with your breath. You might want to go faster or slower than me. Inhale, we lift. Notice your belly contracting as you lift that knee up. Notice your belly working as you slowly lower it down. Let's do one more each side. And from there, let's take the knees out and the feet out wider than the hips, thinking about your toes kind of pointing out away from each other. So your heels are in closer, your toes are pointing out at about 45 degrees. And now I want you to think about your thighs, your knees pointing in the same direction as your toes. It's exactly the same as when we were doing our Utkatasana stand and sits. We're thinking about the knees kind of staying in position here, and we're using our outer hip muscles, our external rotators in our hips, to keep us nice and strong. From there, we're going to do exactly the same as we did before, but our legs are in a different position, so we work different muscles. Let's reach the arms either forward or up, weight down into the feet as we lean forward and stand up nice and slowly, and then sit it down nice and slowly. Keeping that going. Remember, when you get to the top, tuck the tailbone, stand up tall, sit it down nice and slow as you can. Let's take one more like this. And then this time you've got the option of lifting both heels up off the floor. Now this is tricky. So again, if you do have that desk in front of you or a wall, you can use that for a little bit of balance. Let's take one more nice and slow. Slowly sitting it down, relaxing. Once you get there, keep the legs nice and wide. Now here again, we're gonna take our options. I'm gonna reach my left hand, keep my right hand on my knee, reach my left hand either to the desk in front of me, to the chair underneath me, maybe down to a block on the floor, or maybe down to the floor. From there, I'm gonna start pressing into my right leg with my hands and turning my chest open to the right. If you want to, we can take that right hand from the knee and reach it up towards the ceiling, a full open twist here. One last big inhale, really feel the chest open. Exhale as you bring that top hand down to meet wherever the bottom hand is. We swap over, planting the right hand down, lifting the left hand to the knee, and using it as a little bit of leverage as we twist to open towards the left side. Picking your option, if you'd like to reach that top arm up, you can. Oh, feels so good in the upper back. One last big inhale as you reach a little higher, twist a little more, and soften down, coming to a forward fold. So both hands meet either down on the floor, on your block, perhaps on the table in front of you, perhaps they're resting on your knees. We're just tipping our hips, tipping our upper body forward. One last big breath in here. And then use your hands on your knees or on the desk in front of you to bring yourself back up to sitting. Take your legs where they're comfortable, about hips distance, on the floor in front of you. Let's take a moment with both hands on the belly. Taking a few deep, conscious breaths, feeling your belly kind of rise and fall underneath your hands. Knowing that you can stay here practicing your breath for as long as you like, as long as you need. Perhaps closing down the eyes, nourishing that breath. And you are welcome to continue this on, let this video play out. Otherwise, gently blinking the eyes open. Letting go of your control on the breath. Bringing the hands in front of the heart. Thank you so, so much for sharing your practice with me here today, for joining me for our 15-minute yoga reset. Have a beautiful day. Take care.